You have no idea how excited I am to film today's video because somehow we are already in June. Like, it is the start of summer. And I know that might sound confusing because obviously I'm Australian, but I live most of my time in the Northern Hemisphere. But this does mean summer is finally here, and you need to hear me when I say this. This summer, your business is not running you, you are running it. And I get it, when you work for yourself, it just feels like there is no clocking off. It is so hard to step away from your laptop because it's like this business can only grow when I'm actively working on the business. And as soon as I step away, that all stops and it feels like you can never get ahead. But no, not this summer. This summer, we are having a glow up. And I know everyone always talks about a personal glow up or a hot girl summer, but this summer, I want you to focus on your business. So I've decided, it's official, we are having a business summer glow up. And what I mean is we are not doing a rebrand and giving ourselves a new logo or some new colors. These are all surface level things and actually do nothing to grow the business. What we're going to do is look at what you already have, fill in the gaps, and put systems in place so that your business actually works for you while you can go and enjoy the sunshine. So today I'm walking you through exactly how to set up your next 12 weeks so that by September you have more clarity, more consistency, and genuinely just more time to go and touch some grass. And if you are new here, hi, hello, I'm Eden. I've been running my own business out of a suitcase for the last 3 years. So yes, quite literally everything I own is in 30 kilos of luggage, give or take. And I travel full time while living out of Airbnbs. So I'm in a new city or a new country nearly every month. So no, I don't have an office, and I do my best to have somewhat of a routine. But what I do have is a business that works for me, whether I'm in Seattle or Lisbon or wherever I choose to land next. And I will be honest, I've worked some ridiculous hours and in some of the most ridiculous places. So I'm not trying to appear like the expert and know-all in this space because I do know what burnout feels like. Unfortunately, it is just the reality of when you run your own business and work for yourself. You just need to get stuff done and you do have deadlines that you need to meet. However, I've been able to set up my business that I can work through the week and enjoy my weekends because I will always prioritize getting to explore a new city on Saturday morning because of the systems I've put in place during the week. So not only is this something that I experience within myself, but obviously within my own business and the business owners I work with, I'm constantly seeing this in my DMs, is that these business owners feel like they're doing all the right things, they're posting consistently, they're sending the emails, but they feel like they can not step away without it all falling apart. And that is because they need to work out their systems behind it. And if you want your business to thrive this summer, you need to go into it with a plan. So today we're building out yours. Okay, let's clock in to your first quarterly meeting with me. I'm so excited and I hope you have your pen and paper ready because we are getting to work. Now, if you are serious about having a business summer glow up, we need to get very strategic. And the first thing on our agenda today is you need to make a decision on this. What is the one offer you are promoting this summer? Yes, just one. Think of it like your summer special because this is a thing you are putting all of your energy into for the next 12 weeks. Because what happens when you try and promote all your offers and everything all at once and wondering why it's not converting? It's because you're not giving your audience a chance to see it consistently. So this summer, we're picking one offer and going all in on it over the quarter. In doing so, everything else becomes so much easier because your content, your emails, your website, it all points to one place. So hit pause on the video if you need and write this down. What is your one offer for the summer? Okay, now that you have that in mind, the next step is to get so specific on who that offer is for, because for the whole of summer, you are selling to that one person. And I do this in my own business. My main offer is created around one person so that when I go to plan, create, or write my content, I know exactly who it's for. And I go to the point, she has a name, I know what she does, I know what keeps her awake at night, and every bit of content I create is speaking directly to her. So here's what I need you to do. You need to write down who your offer is for, and I need you to get really, really specific. So don't just write something like, for mums. No, like if you're a child therapist, maybe it's a parent of a child who is really anxious and has tried absolutely everything and doesn't know where to turn to next. If you're a nutritionist, you might be focusing on a woman in her 30s who is stuck in the cycle of losing weight and restricting and then putting it all back on, and she wants to finally just be at a point where she can enjoy food. Or if you're a VA, it might be the business owner who's staying up till midnight every night because they can't keep up with the admin on top of trying to deliver their service. So I want you to give this person a name, an age range, a job job title if that makes sense to your offer, and think about their day-to-day struggles. That's what I mean when I say get really, really specific. I want you to be able to literally picture this person when you're talking about your offer to them. Now, underneath that, I want you to list every single problem and frustration this person is experiencing right now. So again, if you're a child therapist, her problems might look something like this. She doesn't know if what her child is experiencing is normal. She feels guilty that she can't fix it herself. She doesn't know what kind of professional help she actually needs. And she's just exhausted trying to hold it all together at home. Or if you're the VA who's focusing on the business owner who's drowning in all the admin work, her problems might look like this. She's spending her Sunday night catching up on emails instead of resting. She's missed a client deadline because something fell through the cracks. She keeps saying, I'll get organized when things slow down, and they never do. She knows she needs the help but feels guilty spending money on it, and she genuinely doesn't know what she needs to hand over if she wants to even hire someone in the first place. So now what you have is a list of all of the problems this person is experiencing. Then what you're going to do is go back through the list, and next to each problem you're going to write how your offer gives her the solution. So just to continue on with the examples I already had, with the parent who's feeling guilty, your offer gives her a clear plan and a professional in her corner so she can stop feeling like she's failing her child. For the overwhelmed business owner who feels guilty about spending money on a VA service, your offer pays for itself the moment she gets those hours back, because those hours can go towards another client. And the reason why you need to do this exercise is because I want you to take a look at that list. You have written out your entire content plan and email marketing for the next 12 weeks. And you've probably identified at least one, I'm hoping a few more, but at least one of those problems that you could solve with a free lead magnet. So that list is your entire summer marketing strategy. Now we are going to come back to that list in a minute, but first we're going to take a look at your website, and we're just going to focus on 3 things. Okay, the first thing is to open up your homepage. I want you to look at your hero section, and that is the banner that is at the top, the very first thing that a customer sees when they land on your page. And I want you to ask yourself what you have written there. Does it speak directly to the problems you have just written down? Like, does it use the language that your avatar that you just built out would use to describe their problem? And then I want you to ask yourself, when a stranger lands on your page, do they immediately know what you do, who it's for, and why they should care? If the answer is no to any of this, go ahead and fix that. The second thing we're looking at is, does your website have one clear call to action? So I want you to have a look at all of your buttons, and if they have things like book a call, fill out a form, or download this guide, we are changing that, because remember, this summer we are just focusing on one offer. So we want to give our clients one clear next step, because, and I'm sure you'll hear me say this again and again, if she lands on your page and has no idea what to do next, she is going to leave. And the third thing we're looking at today, if someone finds you this summer through Instagram, through a recommendation, or through a Google search, can they land on your website and book a call with you within 30 seconds? Because that is the bar we are setting ourselves this summer. Now, if any of those 3 things are broken, there is absolutely no point posting content or writing emails if you haven't fixed your website. Because a website is usually the place where someone goes to book with you or take the next steps with you, which means the website can be a real deal breaker. So fix the website first. Now, remember that problem list you just wrote? We're gonna go back to that. And I want you to find a problem on that list that you can solve with a free resource. And you need to pick a problem that is universally felt by your dream clients, but is really specific to them. So let's say you are a VA, and one of the biggest problems your dream clients have is they are really overwhelmed trying to run their business and show up online. A lead magnet for that might be the 5 tasks every service business owner should outsource first. It's a simple 1-page PDF that tells her exactly where to start. It solves one specific painful problem, it's quick to consume, and it naturally leads to your main offer of your VA services. That is going to be your lead magnet this whole summer. It might be a PDF guide, a checklist, or a mini course. And honestly, if you need some help brainstorming some ideas of what you could build out as a free lead magnet, AI is a great starting point. And I say starting point because it still has to be your ideas and your take on it at the end of the day. AI is a great jumping board, but the real differentiator in your business is you. So make sure what you're putting out to your clients is uniquely yours. For some of these people who are downloading your free guide, it is the first time that they are ever interacting with you and getting a taste of your business. So it needs to be genuinely useful, because it could be the deciding factor factor of if they want to book with you or continue to work with you. And if you're just putting out something that is pretty much AI slop, it is not building a lot of trust with your future potential clients. So this free lead magnet is something small, it's something useful, and it gets her into your world. But here's the part most people skip, and that is what happens after she downloads that freebie. And if the answer is nothing, or oh, she just goes on to my subscriber list, that is a problem. So what you need to do is set up a workflow specifically for this free lead magnet. And in this workflow, it's going to have 3 emails. Email 1 is pretty straightforward. It's delivering the freebie and also introducing yourself. Try and keep this email conversational and personal to an extent. You don't need to tell her about your 3 cats and that you enjoy drinking a flat white, but they need to see why people choose to work with you or how you solve their problem. Email 2 is to build further connection and a relationship with this person. So you need to tell them about why you do what you do. So this could be the story of why you started your business, or it could be why you're so passionate about the service that you offer. Now, just a little tip as well, with that second email, you are building that connection. But in order to increase the open rates, something that I've found that really helps is just including a follow-up in relation to the guide. So in the title, I'll write something like, oh, something I forgot to mention in the guide. So for you, this might be something like, before you use the checklist, try this. Or you've done step 1 and step 2 in the guide, now here's step 3. So again, this is just free little tips or advice. It's not your main offer yet, but it's kind of a natural extension from that first email. And then with the actual content of that email, they'd open it up, they'd read that little personal section, and then it would lead into the tip. That way they can still build a bit of a relationship with you, but they're still getting value out of that email. And lastly, email 3 is obviously where you finally tell her your offer, and that is the offer you're promoting this summer. And I want you to make it sound like the natural next step in your process. So you've read the free guide or you've done the mini training, and if you want to take it a step further, here's what you can do. And I know this section was quite a lot. You need to build out a free lead magnet, you need to set up those emails, set up the workflow, and then obviously the form link. But once you have done all that, and I know this sounds really obvious, I need you to go and test it, because it is such a horrible thing to realize that you think it's all working and then you finally go and test it and it turns out for the last 5 days it actually hasn't been sending anyone their free guide or the email isn't even working. But once you have that set up, it means every single person who downloads your freebie this summer is automatically nurtured while you're laying by the pool or reading on the beach or going out for brunch. Now we're moving on to your content, and this is a part that I hope is really going to change your summer. We're going to go back to that problem list that you wrote before, and we're going to pick 4 of the main or the biggest problems that your offer helps solve. Then what you're going to do is assign one problem to 1 week. So problem 1, week 1, problem 2, week 2, and so on. So yes, I know right now it looks like you have 4 weeks of content, but what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat it for the 12 weeks of summer. So what it ends up looking like is problem 1 is your focus in week 1, week 5, and week 9. Problem 2 is your focus in week 2, week 6, and week 10, and so on and so on. And if you're sitting here thinking, no, Eden, why on earth would I do that? People are gonna get so bored listening to me repeat myself over and over again. Well, let me introduce you to the marketing rule of 7. And it is this idea that somebody needs to see your content approximately 7 times before they are ready to take action. So yes, we all know that the algorithm is not showing every single piece of content that you put out there to every single one of your followers every single time you post. And look, if that was the case, maybe that person would consider booking with you faster. But in order to be effective in your marketing, you need to be repetitive. I want you to think back about anything you have ever purchased online, like a guide or a course or a template. And the reason why you purchased that is 1, it probably spoke to a problem that you were experiencing and it helped solve that. And 2, the person selling it probably kept posting about it, and by the 5th time that you saw it, you were getting a sense of FOMO and went, oh my goodness, I can't miss out on this, and added it to your cart. So I want you to think of it like this. You are not being repetitive, you are being consistent, and consistency is what converts. So now we have the ideas for each week, but now what we actually need to do is plan the content. For each problem that you have identified, you're going to create 3 pieces of content around it. So I'm just going to mention for this content plan, it is posting 3 times a week to your feed. If you want to post more than that, that's fine. This is just 3 specific posts about that offer. So post 1 is going to be an educational post. I want you to look at the problem you're focusing on and you're going to teach her something about it or a way to solve it. But I don't mean just flat out saying, here's my offer and it solves it for you. More like if you're a nutritionist and the problem you're focusing on is they have tried every single diet and nothing has stuck. Your educational post is not then book a consult with me. It could be something like, here is why most diets fail in the first 6 weeks and it has nothing to do with your willpower. So what you're doing is you're giving her a reframe that she's never heard before and you're speaking to that frustration that she's experiencing. What's happening is she feels seen, she learns something, and when she's actually ready to fix it, when she sees your offer in the future promotional post, it becomes the obvious next step. So give her a tip, a framework, or a way of thinking about the problem she's never considered before, and this post can lead to your free lead magnet. Post 2 is your storytelling post. So again, look at the problem and share a story around that. It can be your own personal story that you've experienced with this problem, or a better position is to actually tell a story where your client faced this problem. So I want you to think of this post as showing a before and after. Post 3 is that promotional post that I was talking about. So this is finally where you make that ask explicitly. You're going to tell her your offer solves this exact problem and this is how to work with me. So this post is your conversions post. What you have by the end of this is 3 posts rotating around 4 different problems, which gives you a month of content. But yes, there is 12 weeks of summer. So all you're simply going to do is use the same concept, but the output will be in 3 different formats. What I mean by formats is just pretty much the post type. So is it a carousel? Is it a B-roll with text? Is it a B-roll with voiceover? Or is it a talking to camera video? Now you need to choose 3 formats you are comfortable creating. So that might be a carousel, talking to camera video, and a B-roll with voiceover. So going forward, those are the only 3 outputs that you create. Now, in order to create those, what you're going to do is I suggest using AI in this. So whichever AI model you enjoy using, I enjoy using Claude to help me plan out my content. But if you use Gemini or Chat, that's fine too. But what you're going to do is take your first problem and post 1, which is the education one, and think of your idea. Then you're going to type in that little chat box. This is my concept, this is my idea, and I need it in these 3 formats. Can you create that for me? Now, the output I always find is terrible, so please tweak it, make it sound like you. But there you have 3 posts created and you just rinse and repeat. So then you're going to take problem 1 and create the storytelling post. The last thing I will say, when you are planning these out, don't plan all the same formats in all the same week. So don't just post a week full of carousels. Try and mix it up. So your problem 1, you might do the education post as a carousel, the storytelling as a talking to camera, and then your promotional one as a B-roll with a voiceover. But what you will have by the end of this planning session is 36 pieces of content all planned out for your summer. So you are no longer sitting down and wasting time going, I have no idea what to post today, because you already know, you already have the plan, you already have the system in place. This is your content system and this is what keeps the business running so that you can go enjoy your summer. The final thing on our agenda today, I know a lot of us struggle with, but if we are committing to having a business summer glow up, we are committing to finally batching our content. So in our calendars, we are going to set meetings with ourselves. There are 2 meetings we are committing to a week, and the first one is our batching meeting. And what I mean by batching is purely just filming and taking the photos that you need. It does not involve any of the editing. Then the second meeting of the week is your editing meeting. And that's where you can go in and make your videos or actually go and insert the photos into the carousels with the text. Then hopefully by the end of that second meeting, you should be able to schedule all of your content for the week. I find that just doing it in 2 blocks makes it so much more manageable. And by actually scheduling in a meeting with ourselves, it's gonna help us keep accountable. Because the whole point of this business summer glow up is to give us back time. And if you're constantly trying to plan, script, film, and edit all on the day of, you are setting up a system to fail. And we're not about that this summer. So that is our system this summer. We have our customer clarity, a website that converts, our emails doing the nurturing, our content set up on rotation, and of course, this is all batched in advance weekly. And I promise if you do this, you can actually enjoy your summer and keep your business growing at the same time. But if you are sitting here watching this going, Eden, please send help. My brand, my positioning, where website all needs to be rebuilt before any of this is actually going to work, this is exactly why I built the Business Reboot. The Business Reboot is my 8-week one-on-one where we do all of this together. We rebuild your positioning, your brand, your website, and your whole content system from the ground up with strategy behind each decision. My client Kim had been running her business for 18 months and couldn't break into the market she'd built her whole business for. And 3 weeks after we finished, she had 3 leads from her dream clients. This program focuses on exactly that, rebuilding your business foundations to attract the people you built the business for. And if that sounds exactly like what you need this summer, the link to book the discovery call is in the description below. We'll have a chat, figure out if this is the right fit, and we'll go from there. And if you found this video genuinely useful, please share it with the other business owners in your life who need to hear it, because everyone deserves a summer where their business actually works for them. And make sure you are subscribed to see more business tips and advice from the girlie who runs hers out of a suitcase, and I'll see you in the next video.